A few weeks ago, I was browsing Marketplace for a good gaming CPU that I could clock to or around 5 gigahertz when I stumbled upon this, an Intel i7 8086K, a 6-core, 12-thread part that Intel released in mid-2018. It's essentially a better binned 8700K that was advertised to hit 5 gigahertz right out of the box. The guy who sold it to me already delidded it by removing the IHS and applied liquid metal directly to the die to greatly improve thermal conductivity. So this OG Coffee Lake runs ice cold. Immediately after taking it home, I tested it out on the crusty old Z370 motherboard I had laying around, and I found out that this thing was a golden chip among already golden chips. A silicon lottery winner, a unicorn. This thing was definitely something special. I was able to get a rock solid overclock of 5.3 gigahertz all-core at just 1.4 volts, meaning this thing was capable of much higher clock speeds. A quick check of Hardware Bot, a website that kind of acts as a database for world records in benchmarks and CPU frequency overclocks. I found that the 8086K world record on air was 5.5 gigahertz, which I probably could have done with the crappy Z370 motherboard that I already had. But I wanted the most out of that 8086K. So I went and found this Asus Maximus Formula board that had a single bent pin. After straightening out the single bent pin, I went ahead and dropped in the CPU, mounted our lovely Assassin 3 here to it, and we were off to the races. We started out by disabling all the features in the BIOS that wouldn't help us overclock further. You know, weight reduction, bro. Turbo boost frequency. We're already turboing it. We managed an incredible 5.6 gigahertz all-core, which already set the world record, but we wanted more, mainly Zach's. So we disabled all but one core, set the voltage at 1.6 volts, and upped the frequency to 5.725 gigahertz, and after waiting about 10 minutes for Windows to boot on that single core, we got it stable enough to set a world record. Any further than that, it just wouldn't boot. And I really didn't want to put any more voltage on this fantastic little CPU and potentially damage it. A little caveat to all of this is we didn't actually beat the 8700K world record on air, which is like, you know, supposed to be worse than this, but come on, they were throwing like 1.7 volts at that thing. I wasn't about to do that to my chip, although maybe. So there we have it, a pretty arbitrary world record for something that I doubt many people who have one of these, after all there's only about 50,000 of them in existence, have tried, given you have to delid it and then actually try overclocking it, which, come on, who actually overclocks any of their stuff anymore? Overall, I had a lot of fun with this. I'm by no means an expert overclocker. No one at Coil Whine is an expert overclocker. We had a 10900K going at like 0.7 gigahertz because we're stupid. So that's going to do it for today, guys. We have big plans for this 8086K, like dropping it in a cage match with a 10900K to see which one gets eaten alive. I'm sorry, buddy. So make sure you subscribe for that. Maybe comment what you would like us to do with this 8086K. And maybe hit like while you're at it. But like always, thanks for watching and have a great day. We're going to put this thing in a cage match with a 10900K that'll probably eat it alive.